This is a clip from
Scott and the Goblin.
Check the description for the full episode.
Did you fall off the wagon?
Who needs stories? I want to talk about something.
Go on, Billy. Spit your shit, indeed.
I haven't thought about this dude in a while, but when I was a kid, I had this. I would call him a cousin, but he's not a cousin. He was the son of my mom's best friend at the time, like forever ago. I don't know why we just kind of stopped talking. I think it just was like. It's just
he
like
got racist
times. Oh, dude, he was already racist. That's kind of the That's
one of the few things you and him had in common. Okay, I think it's not something you choose.
It's not something you choose.
You're born with it.
This dude, who I would call my cousin, because we were always hanging out at their place. He was maybe 4 or 5 years older than me. And I just had this thought recently while watching the Mortal Kombat gameplay demo. When I was a kid, I remember his mom was making us fucking Kraft mac and cheese. And we were sitting there waiting for our food. And he just looked at me and said, "Hey, Dweebus, can you name all the Mortal Kombat characters?" And I was like, dude, I was like 9, 10. So Mortal Kombat is fucking epic. So I knew all the characters. I just start naming every character in Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
Holy shit.
Ramen and all.
Cool.
Mocap,
Dramen,
Havoc,
Suhao.
Oh my god.
Whoa. Reiko.
Shujinko. Ashra. Havoc.
Marissa? No, not Marissa.
No.
That's a Street Fighter character. There's one. Serena.
Serena. What's the one? What's the? Oh, dude.
Hey, Sheena, how are you doing?
What's the one that's like he looks like Ken?
Okay.
Do you remember?
Cobra
Cobra with a K. Either way, I just name all of them, and then he just like he's like holding his chin and looking at me like with intent, and then he just says, "Man, you're a fucking loser."
Then why did he ask? I thought he was gonna do like the SpongeBob thing, like you forgot the pickles. I thought he was gonna scratch his chin and go,
No.
impressive.
No,
you forgot Bo Raicho.
No, what a fucking asshole though. He would always do that shit. He always be like, "Hey man, do you know this nerdy shit?" And I'd be like a kid, so I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's how you do that in the game." And then he'd be like, "You're a fucking loser."
Dude, you know what that is? That's a less illegal way of doing what Mr. Wiz was doing. Like, the owner of Evo would go up to kids and be like, "Hey, I bet you $20 you're not going to show me your cock." And then they'd go to the bathroom, the kid would show him his cock, and then Mr. Wiz would go, "Man, you're gay," and then give him $20 and leave.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. None of that's going in.
What? Why not? Why not?
Oh, now Julian wants it. Julian, you were the one.
That's funny. And also, like, presumably widely reported on.
Yes, it is. He's no
So it's
longer
not- it's
running
not like-
Evo.
No shit, it's wildly
not like
reported on. You
But
think it's something like
it's not
that?
like it's fucking slander. Why would you censor that?
Because it's bringing my freaking vibes down, bro.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I apologize to Mr. Wiz's estate.
Apologies to all the whiz stands in the audience
The
for that one.
wizards.
His name was Mr. Wiz, and he would look at penis. That's kind of funny.
That's
true,
staying
true.
in.
That's the one, baby.
That's the title.
My cousin Scott was a fucking weirdo because he's like, I mean, wait, so he's like 32 or something. How old am I? 26. So he's like 31, and he's in prison for selling drugs to kids.
God damn it. Why would you sell drugs to kids, man? Sell them to me.
Yeah,
and
sell them-
Julian.
Well, there's no
fucking
shortage.
true.
It's so weird. There's no shortage of adults. Why are you going to kids for drugs? They don't have money. Adults have money. What are you
Hey,
doing?
don't fucking hate on him for hustling. He's trying to break into
What do
a
you
new
mean
market.
hustling? He's hustling to like
He sounds like an
14-year-olds.
enterprising young man, and you are getting in the way of
Speaking
his
of
ambition.
enterprising, one time, it was a summer, and I was just hanging out at his place. We just got out of the pool, and we were with his other weird, fucked up little creature friend. I say fucked up creature friend because that dude was a goblin IRL. He was so fucking weird, and he would scamper around on his like 4 legs. And
Okay.
dude,
I want to meet that guy.
I just remember there was some dude, he was a bully. He was not a very nice guy.
And he sold drugs to minors.
Yeah, that was not cool of him, I think.
And he didn't know who Havoc was.
That one day, what he did was he told us that we were going to go hang out with one of his friends. Me and the goblin were like, "Oh, okay, we'll go we'll go hang out with the guy." And we went to this dude's house. And we got in, and then the person who answered the door was this dude's mom, and she was like, "Oh, he just went to the convenience store, but he might be back in a little bit. Do you guys want to wait for him inside?" I mean, first of all, red flag.
What? Under what circumstances
It's
is
kinda
someone
weird.
inviting you? No, it's not.
It's kind of weird if you don't know the fucking parent. What are you talking about?
You are weird for thinking that's weird.
I think it's weird. I think it's real fucking weird.
It's a parent.
So what? Do you know how many parents get caught for doing some really terrible things? What do you mean?
There is nothing abnormal about a parent offering kids to hang out inside while waiting for their kid to get home. There's nothing weird about that.
What happened was not that.
Okay.
We got inside, and then Scott just turned to us, and he was like, "Okay, so here's the thing. We go inside this other kid's room that we're in his house, and then it's like, okay, here's the thing. This kid, he's a total dweebus, and I fucking hate his guts. We're gonna steal his bike." And I'm like this kid, and then I'm just being told that we're actually in a heist movie. And like he didn't even know this kid that well. All he did was bully the kid and know where he lived. And then when we went to his place and he saw his mom, he was like, "Oh, is he home?" And then he took the opportunity that he wasn't there, and he decided it was time to steal his bike. He made me go talk to his mom.
What?
His mom was in the kitchen, and it's one of those kitchens with an open fucking window, right? I was really young. I was 8.
What are those kitchens with a window? You might not have
no,
these
like
in Europe.
those big patios. Those
I
like
getcha.
big patio windows, and the bike was like right there. So he was like, "Go talk to distract the mother."
The kind of house that had doors in it. You might not be familiar with these if you don't live in Europe.
That's just my joke. Billy, continue. Ignore the cokehead.
I guess I'll do it because Scott is super cool and he tells me I'm a loser. So I just went.
Wow.
Went and started chatting up the mom, but I was 8, so I didn't know what the fuck to say. I was just like,
Hey, baby. Things around these parts.
Do you know about Bakugan?
no, I just remember I just went up to her and I was like, "Hi, do you have a pool?" And then she just turned around at the patio and was like, "Yeah."
Good talk.
I was so young, and then while that was happening, the two Goblin and Scott Scott and the Goblin just went outside and took the bike and left. And then I didn't know.
They left you there?
Yeah, I didn't know when to go.
Oh.
So I was just like, the worst part, they didn't even leave far. They just left the house and didn't come back for me. And they were just waiting for me in front of the house with that kid's bike. And I was just there talking to the mom. And then I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. So I was just like, "Okay, bye." It's just fucked off.
Cool.
I just fucked off back into this kid I didn't know's room, and I just sat there.
Yeah, I've
At
been
one
there.
point, I remember getting tired, and I just left back outside because I saw them throwing rocks at the window.
What the fuck is
Dude.
wrong with these kids?
Scott is fucked up. Scott was a
Yeah.
bad seed, bro.
Wait,
Scott
wait,
was
wait.
He was a bad apple.
he was a bad seed.
If you were 8 at the time, does that mean Scott was like 15? Or
Yeah, he was
man.
way older than me.
Wait, no, you're 26, he's 31, he'd be 13.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter really. He was still way older than me. Like in
Yeah.
kid age, like 5-year difference is a lot.
He was, I mean, whatever. He might have been like 47. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I think Scott was actually like in his 50s and stealing a bike. Either way, at one point,
How
they
I'm trying
start
to be.
throwing rocks, and I just like stop looking at this kid's GameCube games, and I'm like, okay, time to go, I guess. And I just leave this house. I just leave, and the mom is still doing shit in the kitchen and like looking at me leave from the front door.
Why were you allowed to just hang out with people at 8 years old? I feel like that's a bit young to just be fucking
'Cause I
around the
think-
neighborhood.
Because it was like a closed neighborhood, right?
I don't know.
I've never-
guess.
I've never known anybody else who was in a closed neighborhood like that. And my parents were like, well, he's like 15. He's going to take care of this kid.
Wow.
That's how I see it, but I think that was a bad idea. Either way.
No. Why would you say that?
Either way, we get out, and then Scott is like, okay, let's go to the convenience store parking lot and do donuts on the bike. And I was like, okay. He
said yes.
I was 8. What do you fucking mean? I was 8. I just go.
Billy heard fucking we're gonna do donuts on this bicycle, and he was like,
whoa. Yeah, I was like, no fucking way. And I
That's fucking awesome.
He was like, get on the bike and do some donuts. I ate shit. I started crying because I was 8.
he just gave you the bicycle. Was like, do some cool shit, and you just fell over and cried.
He would always do shit like that.
I know.
He's such
a very funny image.
Dude, get on the bike and do some wheelies. Okay. I mean, that was how I was as a kid.
Do some cool shit.
Do some shit. Entertain us,
and you
monkey.
fall over, and that's the end of it.
Literally entertain us, monkey boy. And I was like, okay. And I would get on the bike and eat shit. And then he'd be like, ah, you fucking loser. You ate shit. And then I'd be crying.
You fucking... You live to serve, clearly.
I just remember at the end, after that, we went inside, we got like candy because we had a bit of change from our parents. And then he was like, I'm tired of this bicycle.
I'm sick of this shit. Ugh.
At this point, I was like, oh, are we bringing back his bicycle? And then he started laughing. I was like, oh boy.
You're not. That dude's never seeing that bike again.
That I think he did because I don't know actually.
I think he did because Scott's in jail.
I mean, if that kid's listening right now, Scott stole your bike and I was accessory.
When Scott was finally brought to jail, all of his belongings were repoed, and they found the bike there. So they'll probably see it sometime soon.
He was like, "Okay, let's drop off his bike to him," because I remember I was like, "No, we have to bring his bike back. We can't do this to this guy." And he was
Saving
like,
Private Ryan.
"Yeah, no." Like I at that point, I was firm. I was like, "No, we are not stealing this." I say as an 8-year-old to
so
this
brave.
14-year-old.
You're so brave.
He was really condescending, probably because he knew I was a dumbass kid, and he was just like, "Okay, no, fine, we'll give him back his bike. I know the drop.
Damn.
I'll put it. Oh damn! I know
damn,
a place. I know a place where he always drops his bike off. We'll just drop off his bike there, and then we went to the park. We went to the park, and
you bought it.
Yeah, of course, I was 8.
That's so funny.
He took the bike and threw it in the bush.
Wow.
He just threw it in a bush, and then we went back, and the entire time I mean, I was a dumbass kid, but I knew what we did. I knew what we did was not nice. And then Goblin Child went back to his home, and I went back with Scott, and we ate corn on the cob. But while I was eating corn on the cob, I was looking at him, and I knew he was not the person I once knew. He grew as a person, and I did not like the person he grew up to be.
Sounds like a good day.
It was actually pretty awesome. We had ice cream.
Yeah.
That is
And
awesome.
then we went to the pool.
What about the bike kid? What did he have?
No bike.
Not a bike.
Dude, what
was
if
waiting for
I
it.
was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about it like, man, where the fuck is this guy now? And I just like looked up his name and he's in jail.
Yeah, I think
It's always good.
I think Scott may have had some antisocial behaviors, but I'm not sure.
He was
Like anti-bike behaviors.
I didn't know this, but apparently you're allowed to adopt a child as a single parent. I didn't know that. Yeah, no.
Why would you not be able to?
You just have to prove that you're able to.
Make some donuts.
If you don't fall over and cry, you're allowed to adopt a kid.
Oh man.
You show up to the adoption agency, they hand you a copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Get all the letters.
Sorry, Billy, you can't adopt, unfortunately.
I don't want to adopt. He's gonna end up selling drugs to kids and stealing bikes and throwing them in bushes. That guy was an asshole.
Then he's gonna make me try to do a cool stunt, and I'm gonna fall over and cry.
My own adopted child will be like, get on the bike and do some donuts, Dad. And I'd be like, okay.
Going
No,
to the
Billy.
fucking orphanage and finding the perfect child and then watching them like having them watch you leave in tears because they gave you downhill jam. That sucks.
His name was not actually Scott. I just thought it was a funny name.
Oh, thank God.
No offense to Scott Stans.
Also,
Don't worry.
Name drop him.
Don't worry, Scott. If you need a parole officer, I got you.
Parole officer. What are you gonna do? Stop him from selling drugs, bro?
Stop him from stealing bikes, dude. The drugs can stay. That's the least of his worries.
Is that how he got caught? You think he was stealing bikes still?
He was doing donuts on a stolen bike.
could you imagine years later, the police come up to him and say, "Hey, we know what you did. We found the bike, man."
Found the bike. They just found the bike in that one bush,
Yeah, we're taking.
and it had.
Is that how they approach them too? There's no like, sir, do, sir, do you have a moment to speak?
Scott answers the door with a bike-shaped stomach.
The entire PD, the entire PD knows. So anytime he walks by an officer, they just whisper him to like
Bike
a fucking
freak.
NPC in Skyrim, being like, "Hail Sithis."
What did you say at the end? Hail Sithis?
Hail Sithis?
What the
Yeah,
fuck is
same type
Sithis?
shit.
It's Talos, isn't it?
No,
Isn't
this
Talos the
motherfucker
god?
didn't play the Dark Brotherhood quest line.
I did. It was a long
Dude,
time
you
ago.
know
You
what?
had to kill someone at the end.
You know what, Julian? Just for that reference, Scott would call you a loser.
Yeah. and
No!
then do
He
donuts on
would.
your
No, he
grave.
wouldn't.
He would be like, "Go do some donuts."
if I was on a bicycle, I would do a fucking awesome wheelie and then a pop shove it. I'd figure out a way to do it on the bicycle.
Wait, Dark Brotherhood. That's
Everyone
the shit
would
with
clap.
That's just shit with Cicero. I'm remembering.
Wow, you
Yeah.
would really impress Scott and the Goblin.
Yeah, I would.
That sounds like a fucking band.